Hello and welcome back to day 22, 30 Days of Essential Oils. My name is Tammy Davis. I'm your mentor and guide and neighborhood alchemist. Thanks for joining me. If you're new, please know I appreciate you very much. And let me know if you have any questions or suggestions along the way. I'm going to have an itchy nose again, like I did yesterday. If you've been with me for all this time, thank you. Just thank you. It means a lot that you find value in my life's work. So I do just really want to thank you. If you haven't already, please sign up for my newsletter, which you can do in the link in the description box below, as well as request to join Aromatherapy as a Lifestyle Facebook group. It is a closed group, but that's only because it's I don't want my information searched on the internet. And so anyway, I wanted to again welcome you to this channel and let you know that I also, this comes to you with many years, over 30 years at this point of experience with the oils, starting out with in pharmacology. I am internationally certified as an aromatherapist, and I have extensive background in epigenetics and the study of drug development, plant constituents more specifically, as they relate to human health and drug development. Just kind of want to shape this and share it so you kind of have an idea, again, if you're new, where all this comes from. And the information you find here or here is not something you're really going to find on another website or a book. It's only because this is coming to you after experience and an extensive amount of research and application. I love the oils, and at the same time, I have a great regard for them and really trying to empower people to have a better experience of them. So, yeah, let me know what questions you might have. Now, today I want to talk about Tangerine. Tangerine it's an interesting oil. It's obviously one of the citrus oils, and just to start off with, it is one that does lead to phototoxicity if you put it on your skin and go out and exposed skin and go out into the sun. The potential for phototoxicity is significant. But beyond that, it's actually a very calming oil. It helps move fluid. It really has a direct impact on the neurochemistry to the degree where I don't recommend using this oil in combination with any sort of SSRI. You're not going to find that suggestion anywhere else, but because of what I understand, how I understand the chemistry of a number of these oils, that is one that you don't want to mix with an SSRI. However, if you're not taking an antidepressant or such an antidepressant, then and if you have fluid retention as a result of stagnant lymph or even just building edema, endocrine disruption, which most of us do, but you have a tendency to build more cellulite, because cellulite is part of the adipose tissue, which is the largest endocrine organ that we have. So you could use, and I've used Tangerine in a number of ways, a couple of ways. I've used it for people who were who've had what am I trying to say? The gliomas, is that what they brain tumors, has been very helpful for that. Cellulite, and again, this comes along the lines of when I'm somebody who's got a stagnant lymph and who is now building, because stagnant lymph, what it's doing is the reason we build fat tissue is a couple of reasons. Obviously insulation, but another one is to store toxins, whether it's out, and that's typically external toxins. It also has a lot to do with the vitamins and minerals that we're taking that are what's considered fat soluble, that don't flush from the body through the lymph, and so they will back up. So let me just say this: when the body is stressed, which it can be due to environment and emotions, mental emotional distress leads to oxidative stress. Yes, environmental stress leads to oxidative stress, but then there's also the other components of the environment that are deliberately, very toxic to the body. So Oxidative stress isn't necessarily something that gets stored in the fat tissue. It does cause stagnation in the body, meaning it slows down the digestive system, but there's a good reason for that. There's significant neurochemical changes that are happening as a result of the stress that the body is going through. So it'll slow down the digestive system. It slows down the lymph system, and if this remains constant, then we have a tendency to build fluid. Okay, so Tangerine is really good for helping to relieve that. That said, if you're building cellulite, okay, this is a good indication, number one, that the hormonal system's been disrupted. And your body is now storing toxins, because that's one of the reasons that we have fat tissue. Again, it's besides insulation, it is to house toxins that cannot be removed that are fat soluble. So a good example would be like vitamin E. We take a lot of vitamin E, and there's not beta-carotene, not beta-carotene, that's one type of A, but the other type of A, vitamin A, is also fat soluble, and so it doesn't flush from the body like vitamin C or vitamin B. Vitamin D is another one that we're taking a lot of, but we're not really getting the best benefit out of it, and it's unfortunate that we're taking it, because it is in fact a hormone the body is supposed to produce. And typically when I see somebody building cellulite, that also tells me that the vitamin D is not being produced properly and or used properly. Now Tangerine will actually help with this, because it helps to, again, regulate the system in a way genetically that will support the production and the use of, more specifically, the use of vitamin D. Because there's two things about vitamin D. Number one, we have to produce it. Number two, there's actually a receptor, the vitamin D receptor, that is required for uptake and use of calcium. And so through the use of Tangerine, you can actually benefit that. You can actually influence the uptake and of both. Now, if we're not utilizing the calcium effectively, it circulates throughout the body. It doesn't necessarily get stored in the fat tissue, but it leads to fat development, because calcium is needed for fat metabolism. So again, that's the reason why Tangerine actually works to helping break down cellulite, because it supports the body. And yes, you have to use it on a regular basis. You want to maybe take a bath in it, would be the better way to do it at night. It'll help you relax, so it'll help with sleep. So these are the really fun, and I've used it like that. So if this would be the best way to use Tangerine, would be to put it in your bath water at night if you're not taking an SSRI antidepressant, and which will again help you to sleep. Your body will assimilate it rectally, which is the best way to get it internally, unless you want to be making suppositories, and it will help with the reduction of cellulite. It will also help the lymph system to move, which kind of makes me wonder, maybe, I hesitate unless you want to be getting up during the night, because if your lymph is pretty stagnant, and you're holding fluid, you're going to end up spending a lot of time in the bathroom at night, just because you're going to be dumping a lot of fluid. So other options. Excuse my dog. She hears things and. Okay, so. But yeah, the other thought I had would be to use it in the morning. You could do a foot bath in the morning, maybe while you're drinking your coffee or having your breakfast, or just kind of getting ready and giving your chance to sit down in the morning. Truthfully, obviously, I don't know if you take a shower, if you can take a bath. If you have time to take a bath in the morning, super cool. If not, do a foot bath in the morning. Or, definitely put some on between your toes. Maybe rub it on your abdomen, but I'm just thinking about not getting it on your skin when it's exposed to the sunlight. That's all I'm thinking about. So play around with that idea. Diffusing it, not so much, because it's in the air, and it's really, remember, you're only using a couple of drops at a time, so it's going to be diffused through the body. If we diffuse it in a diffuser in the air, you're not getting, you're getting even less of it. So you want to make sure that you do absolutely apply it. And the most absorbable parts in the body are between the fingers and between the toes. You don't have to be smearing your whole body with it. You can put it directly on areas of cellulite, so that would be another option. You could mix it with a little bit of aloe vera gel, and at that point, just massage it into, if it's on your thighs, just rub it into your thighs. The reason for the aloe vera and not the gel oil, it has nothing to do with the oiliness. Well, maybe not too much, but the aloe vera actually helps with the absorption rate. It actually increases the absorption rate of the oil, and if it's on an area that has cellulite, it'll actually help diffuse into that area rapidly. So that's another option as I've been talking through all of this. So if nighttime isn't a suitable one because you don't want to spend time running to the bathroom all night long and you don't want your sleep disrupted, then putting it on, massaging it into the areas that you're concerned about. Please know that this oil is not just for cellulite reduction. What you're actually using this oil for is to help the body boost use of calcium and vitamin D. Okay, I realize that cellulite is a concern, and that would be the symptom of a vitamin D, poor use of vitamin D. And chances are you also have some degree of, or some sign that there might be some kind of autoimmune issue going on. Maybe fatigue, generalized pain, histamine problems. So you often see that, and we talk about it all the time with women getting cellulite. And the reason for that is because of the hormonal issues, and the hormonal issues start with vitamin D. But I will tell you straight up that the vitamin D, if you are taking it, maybe you should stop taking it. It's really, unless your doctor can prove that your blood serum levels of vitamin D have bolted because, just been really heightened as a result of taking it. But chances are that's not the case. There may be a slight increase, but nothing significant. And in fact, if you actually go out and do your research through the AMA and the CDC and so forth, you'll find that we are epidemically low as a population on vitamin D, and it has nothing to do with the amount of D we're taking. It's because the body's not producing it, and sadly, the more we take it, the more we're telling the body not to produce it, which is actually going to complicate endocrine disruption at that point. So, because once the body doesn't have to produce vitamin D, it's going to go on and the whole system has to be changed because it's not having to do that, right? And which is going to disrupt immune function, and it's going to disrupt, it's going to disrupt hormonal function altogether, which is the reason, again, why we're building fat. So using Tangerine is exceptional. Please don't expect immediate results. And at the same time, understand that you're doing a lot more than just melting fat off your thighs. You're actually doing your body a world of good by helping it to absorb and use, but more effectively use D and calcium. All right, you guys, take care. Let me know if you have any questions. Until tomorrow, when I talk to you about Benihi. Say what? Yeah, Benihi. See you then.